friends. This afternoon, we want to talk about the ballot or the bullet. The ballot or the bullet explains itself. We have a fight that's common to all of us. We suffer political oppression, economic exploitation, and social degradation. Today it's time to stop singing and start swinging.
Check 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Check.
First
in the morning.
Sky in the morning.
In the morning.
I never heard you do it premature before the line. That was interesting.
Yeah, a little excited.
That's right. Yeah, me too. Excited. It is January 11th. No, I'm sorry, January 31st, day before.
Man, I was about to say.
End of the month. Hey, man, I'm believing the concept of time. I don't know what day it is anymore. I got to look. Fresh edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Happening right now. My name is Paul B. He's Buddy the Guy. Good morning to all. Thanks for joining us on this Friday. It is Friday, man. Most people aren't used to us bringing Fridays back, but we're getting some good feedback on from people who did like that Fridays are back. So I appreciate everybody's participation, getting up early with us this morning. Say Leah Keister in there with a classic fry yo yay yippee yo yay yo yippee yippee yo yo yay. I had it almost to the end there, almost, man.
I think you just added an extra yo, but other than that, looks like you did good.
Okay. We'll take it.
Yeah. Not too bad. Not too bad.
That's one thing I did miss about Fridays. Leah Keister's the yippee-yi-yos. Vocal exercises.
Yay.
Pop says, good Friday morning and mad love from Las Vegas. Appreciate you. Amy H. in the chat. Good morning. Stacey Jean says, good morning, First Sky friends. Michelle Moreno says, good morning. It's Friday. That's right. I never thought I'd be such a weekend warrior, but I'd be looking forward to it nowadays, for real.
Man.
Mark Manner says, in the morning is getting his sing on. I appreciate that. Singing along. I love it.
Yeah.
Also, Heather Williams says, good morning, everyone. Appreciate you coming in. Amy H. says, don't go making us live this January again.
Yeah. Taking us back to the 11th, man. I don't know.
People are like, this is the longest January ever. What is it? January 42nd? Man. All of it.
I mean, last year or a couple years ago, on the 6th, that was a pretty long January.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true. Sean McCarthy gives us a good morning. Appreciate it. Pop says, yep, I love that Fridays are back. Appreciate it. Yeah. Appreciate
it seems like people are warming up to the new format in general. So, yeah, thanks for the feedback, y'all.
Yeah, always, man. I'd be skeptical though. I know y'all love us, but like somebody give us a little bit of constructive feedback, because everything is just everything is great. I thought we'd get one person like, wait a minute, what happened to the argument that we need 3 hours instead of bringing it down? Not even RG3 came with it. Just, I'm surprised.
Man,
but anyway,
it's going along.
It works out.
Yeah, it works out.
Amy H. said it's been 100 days, right? Marlon Harrison says, happy Friday, First Guy family. Happy January 42nd. That's how long January has been. Everybody feeling like January is long month. Marianne Williams, good morning all. Appreciate you coming through. Once again, just want to thank everybody for joining us this morning. It is the 31st of January. Finally, January is going to be over. One thing about January, it makes you feel all this month we've been feeling it. Man. So and then we come up to the shortest month of the year. So happy Black History Month coming up, by the way.
Also doesn't help that it's cold in January. I think that kind of makes it a little longer as well.
Very, very true. How you doing this morning, buddy, by the way?
I'm all right. A little tired. Kind of went out on the scene last night. Got invited to an album listening party. Shout out to the whole Grand Hustle family, T.I., Young Dro, okay, and Zaytoven. Had, some Atlanta activities, had some chicken wings. Yeah, very, very Atlanta. So yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, man. Some actually, we've been talking about some Life is God content and some footage from that coming very soon.
Very nice. things that are coming soon here in the community. We'll go ahead and jump into it. As a matter of fact, tomorrow, speaking of Black History Month, Keep the Dream Alive March is happening. Join the march February 1st. It says meet at 24th and Lake Street at, what does that say, 10:30? Very light font, 10:30 a.m. It looks like. Definitely check it out. I've been getting hits from Tim Clark and some other folks on this march, and so they've been going in on trying to get as many people out on the march as possible, starting Black History Month strong on the first day. So
yeah, man.
Yep, that's happening tomorrow. Meet at 24th and Lake Street at 10:30 a.m. Keep the Dream Alive march is going down. I wanted to give a shout out to the OEAs because that's coming up very shortly, very soon, February 16th.
Hey.
So start worrying about getting your tickets now for sure. And one of the best things you can do to kind of really enhance what's going on here is also to go to some of the earlier events they got going on. February 7th, the opening reception for the OEAA Visual Art Showcase for the 19th annual OEAA Awards is happening. A little information on that, I believe, is in my notes, if I can find them. So I'll give you a little bit more information on that as well, on the where. And if I forget to do it, then check it out at Friends of First Sky Omaha on that, because we posted this over there too. But yeah, opening reception coming up. I'll try to get that before the end of the show about where this is going to be at. But yeah, man, February 7th is coming up, and this show will support the actual award show that's happening. So shout out to them and all the work that's being done on the OEAAs. Very important situation going on as far as I'm concerned. So got to do it. Speaking of the arts, shout out to Nebraska Furniture Mart for doing another Celebrate Black Culture Artist Meet and Greet. This is also happening February 1st at from 1 to 3. I don't know if you guys have been to some of the previous ones. I went to go see a few artists over there before. Celeste Butler being one of them. Talking about Friends of First Sky Omaha has shown art over at Nebraska Furniture Mart, and I'm kind of interested in the fact that they still do this. They found some value in this happening. I definitely would see that they should continue it because it's been a pretty popular show. Some of the ones that are going to be showing this time are Rowena Cage in the chat. I see Patty Talbert, who's going to be coming on through. Javon Woods, man, Shaniqua Linder. So it's going to be some new artists that's going to come through. Nice. And the month of February, shout out to Nebraska Furniture Mart for getting busy there. Appreciate that very much. And that's what's going on. This next week coming up, we got our second citizen journalism workshop happening at MCC on that Tuesday. So wish me luck. Still trying to build the army of citizen journalists with some of the brothers that are in the re-entry program. So it's really interesting to hear their stories and help them tell their stories. It's been a great run so far. So yeah, second coming up on next Tuesday over at MCC. Just letting y'all know that's happening. It's not really open to the public, but just want to let you know we're still rolling with the Citizen Journalism Workshop. And this is a series of 3 introductory classes that we got going on over there. So that's what's happening for us next week for sure. And that's really about it. Don't forget about our special guest that's coming through today, big brother Sherman Wells.
Hey.
Been heavy in these streets, really making the difference in confronting things. And man, he got some stories. I don't know if you've been watching his live lately, but there's all kinds of things that's been going on. A young man in a jacket that was in his news feed recently here. We'll talk to him a little bit more about that story. Really somebody's holding it down, man. People are starting to give him calls all the time like, yo, this is happening. Give us some help. So we'll be catching up with him and all those good stories and more coming up. So appreciate you guys joining us on the community news and also putting some of this stuff in Friends of First Sky Omaha, because that's kind of where we get a lot of the stuff that we're doing as well. So really appreciate it very much. So before we get to the headlines, just want to jump back in the chat, say hello to Lynn Mills. Appreciate you very much. Mark Manor says last year Omaha was practically shut down all month because of weather. This was a long one. Weather has been interesting, and it's supposed to be nice and sunny today. So don't know what. I keep a jacket in the car now because you never know. It's going back and forth. It's what it is. Amy H. says, refresh me with this new format. I know I've popped in later and you guys were just finishing up. Yeah, we switched to an hour-long show now on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, kind of a radio format. So we got kind of a tight radio format that we got going on now for an hour. And this is for us to be able to leave room to do some other things, other times of the day. So stay tuned for some of the things coming up. Definitely jump over on YouTube and get your account together over there, because that's where we're going to drop a lot of new material. And yeah, we're looking to expand on that. So we're just refining the new show, the new format, and keeping it tight. And speaking of keeping it tight, I'm already past time, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw it over to Buddy for some of the headlines that are coming up. What you got up for us today, buddy?
Yeah. Before we get into the headlines, I actually did want to throw in a little community update, kind of Omaha Atlanta connection. Shout out to Tootie the photographer, Omaha's own Tootie the photographer. You might see on Friends of. She was actually recently nominated for best photographer of the year down here in Atlanta at the hip hop fraternity. Which was actually started by Omaha's own brother's name. He does the videos.
DJ Votto. Okay.
Votto. Yeah, brother Votto.
That's what's up.
It's a platform DJ Votto.
I saw that. I didn't know that was in Atlanta happening.
Some big things. Yeah. Nice. Omaha Atlanta connection. So yeah, shout out to Votto and Tootie, and actually my man Shotty Man from Omaha down in Atlanta making some waves as well. So yeah. Shout out to all the Omaha people doing some things.
That's what's up.
But yeah, moving along into the headlines, because there's some things happening here as well. I'll start with shout out to everybody who did make it down to the Capitol over this past week. Again, the blue dot conversation is heating back up. The winner take all bills are rolling out. And the fight continues. Again, where are we on the blue dot? How do we feel about the blue dot? That's always a point of conversation. What does that really mean? Does the blue dot really represent our communities? What do we have to gain from the blue dot? Just always revisiting what is that. Again, if you don't know, this whole format and process of Nebraska splitting its electoral vote and really kind of Omaha getting its own electoral college vote. What does that look like? What does that mean? And is that something worth keeping? I'm definitely going to continue looking at that. Also, this is a conversation we'll have later on in the show. But speaking of representation is something worth keeping, the Commission on African American Affairs. It seems like a lot of people are having some questions about what it is doing, who's running it, what is it supposed to be doing. Some people have written some letters. So shout out to those who are, being active, having their voices heard, because that's what it's about. That's what we want. We want you to have your voices heard. Let your mind be free. So yeah, we'll definitely be talking about this situation, because this is actually an entity that's supposed to aid in having our voices heard. But is that what's happening? So we'll definitely be talking about that a little later on. And some other news, some updates that we've been looking at. Today is the day, if you've been paying attention to the City View situation. Today was the deadline for City View Apartments to meet city code inspection guidelines. And apparently, as it is being reported, they actually did pass the fire inspection. So again, the ultimate outcome that everybody was kind of holding their breaths for, and even possibly anticipating, as far as the mass exodus of all the tenants from the City View Apartments had the building been forced to close down, is not happening. And again, it's very, very interesting on that situation, whether or not, this has anything to do with the city's lack of plan of where to send the people. A few people and friends of commenting that it would not be a good look for Mayor Stothert, especially in an election year, to put a bunch of people on the street. So yeah, very, very interesting. Actually, we will be having Brother Sherman Wells on a little later on, who's kind of been the whistleblower in this whole situation. Again, going into the property, sharing video of the actual conditions that people have to deal with, and then of course helping organize the whole barbecue that went down over the weekend. So definitely want to get his take on that and kind of see where we are in that situation. And again, the backdrop of this is how simple. So easily in a situation, if your voucher isn't being accepted.
Yeah, you're a little choppy. You're talking about
frozen.
Yeah, a little frozen here. Might have a window open. It sounded like you were saying talking about some of the freezes that was going on and the fact they got let up.
Yeah, just the ease with how we can all find ourselves on the street. as far as homelessness, especially with, Section 8 vouchers possibly being frozen. What does that mean for a lot of people? And a shout out to partners at Flatwater Free Press for releasing a report on the state of homelessness in Nebraska, and the fact, actually just Omaha in general, and the fact that it's actually going in the wrong direction, as space is not grown at all. According to this article, since 2013, unsheltered homelessness has grown more in the Omaha Council Bluffs area than any other major U.S. city, metro area served by a federally funded homeless aid organization. That's according to HUD, the Department of Housing and Urban Development data. At the same time, Omaha Metro has added some of the fewest housing options specifically for homeless people. So, again, the homeless problem is growing, and our brothers and sisters are finding themselves on the streets without resources. And again, this is something that's not being talked about enough. So drawing attention to that and more, of course, we'll be talking about a few other things throughout the show. But in the meantime, between time, Paul B, what's up?
Yo. Yeah, appreciate all the headlines there. We'll definitely be talking about it. I'm seeing a lot of people talking on Friends of First Sky Omaha about the meeting with the African American Affairs Commission, and some of the people. We saw a lot of video of people going and speaking out. I see Gwen Easter in the chat giving us a good morning. She was there. She's there on the board of that. She says good. She says her and Anthony Roger Wright going back and forth. You guys were both there and both appreciating each other's comments. So I appreciate that very much. Also, let's see. Pops is saying there's some static there. Let's sound is cracking. We got a little bit of technical difficulties. We haven't had that in a while. So I appreciate you letting us know, Pops. We'll try to see if we can solve that problem. Let us know if anybody else is hearing that too. Tamika Johnson said I'm hearing it too. Is it just one of us speaking, both of us speaking, or overall sound? Let us know.
We'll Pops said you guys, so it sounds like both.
Okay, yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on there. We got some technical difficulties here. We're going to take a quick break anyway. We'll come back and see if we can fix that over the break, and we'll come back and jump into some news stories. And don't forget, it is where a special guest, Sherman Wells, will be on shortly as well. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Apologize for the difficulties there. We'll try to fix that and be right back. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddy to God. Stay tuned. Check 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2. Check. Welcome back. Check 1 2. Let us know. Okay, yeah. Let us know
check.
I don't know if that was it, buddy. Let us know if we're still getting some feedback there. He said Anthony Roger says thought it was my headphones, but it's crackly for sure. Ah, boy, this program. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. We'll see if we can try turning some of the volumes down and see if that helps anything. Let us know if you're still hearing it. Check 1 2 1 2. Okay. Appreciate you guys letting us know. Let us know. We can't really hear. It sounds all right on our end, so I'm not really sure what's going on the back end here, but let us know if you're still hearing it. We'll just continue on. 7:19 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, I appreciate you guys sticking with us and joining us. We'll go ahead and jump into some of the stories until as we anticipate our guest coming through, Brother Sherman Wells. And I'll continue to work on this on the background. So appreciate it very much. Yeah. And in the meantime, between time, buddy, what's coming up? Okay, Ceci Jinx is all clear on my end. Appreciate that.
Okay. Yeah, keep us posted. Let us know what's going on. Yeah. But as you know, the tech be teching. As Paul mentioned, we haven't had a tech issue in a while. So We do thank y'all for letting us know. But this is the business, and the show must go on. A big shout out to those still chiming into the chat. Actually, brother Michael Watts is pretty on point with where I want to go with this conversation. He says, Gwen Easter, when we send an email to the commission email address, does it go to everybody on the commission or just one person? If so, who is that person? Again, the commission that he's talking about is the Commission on African American Affairs, which seems to be on the top of a lot of people's mind. Actually, there's a lot of conversation specifically on Friends of about the Commission on African American Affairs. Again, some things have come up. Big shout out to Senator Terrell McKinney. Put some respect on his name for giving us some context about the Commission on African American Affairs, and also Brother Preston Love Jr., who gave us a pretty good history, as the elders do, on the Commission of African American Affairs, giving us the update that the sister was on the way out, that she would potentially be outed, and here we are now, that there has been a change in leadership, and now that the public has chimed up. Yeah, it's a lot of conversation. As being reported by KMTV3, the change in leadership has put Brother Tim Clark kind of in the middle of things. The NCAA special meeting comes after the commission decided to put Executive Director Simone Smith, who again is the sister that Brother Preston Love Jr. Was telling us about, on administrative leave. Over the months, community advocates have expressed overall concern with the funding and duties of the organization. Actually, Cheryl Weston, a friend of First Sky Omaha, and Chad Chimer, as you see the sister in the chat right now, would definitely love to hear your input on this live, in the conversation. But she has some comments in this article saying, this Nebraska Commission on African American Affairs, have failed the community. 5 years. What does it take? What example are you showing so that people there's those people doing the usual, not qualified? The African American Commission was approved by the legislature back in 2020. The commission's official goal is to promote state and federal legislation to benefit African Americans in Nebraska. And again, there's been a lot of hoopla, a lot of uproar. Sister Kimra actually sent in a pretty extensive letter calling for transparency and amongst other things. But Paul, I know you had some questions about this whole conversation, where it's going, and just the state of affairs right now. What say you?
Yeah, as you know, we always are looking, scouring to see what's going on, what people are talking about, especially digitally online. I've been seeing a lot of chatter when it comes to this commission. We've had a couple shows now where, even in this past week, where we've mentioned it and talked about it. And I'm just seeing some of the heavy hitters like Miss Cheryl Weston, Kimber writing a letter. I see Anthony Rogers Wright spoke up. Gwen Easter, who's a regular on the show, has been in, and I'm still trying to really find out. Like we said the other day, a lot of times we're hearing about this particular commission, and it's because there's some drama. There's something going on. Is the only reason why it's been brought up, and I still wonder. If there was no drama here, what would be brought up with this commission? What is the commission supposed to be doing? And maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm missing the importance of this particular commission and why we're going so as hard as we're going on holding them accountable. Lots of other organizations and people, Don Klein, there's all kinds of situations going on here where we need to be fired up and holding people accountable. And I'm trying to wrap my head around this, and I'm thinking maybe it's because I don't quite know what the commission is supposed to be doing, and so I'm definitely listening to people who know, like Kimber Snipe, Cheryl Weston, who's saying that they failed us, and I'm just trying to understand what that is. So that's that. I'm just kind of drawing back, looking at the situation, and that's kind of what I'm thinking so far. But also, it's I always feel a little bit skeptical if it's a governor appointed, anything. Number one, what's it there for? Is it if the governor has appointed this, then I want to know the history of it. Who fought for this commission in the first place? What was it supposed to be there for? What's it supposed to be doing for us now, and so on. So I still have a lot of questions, and so I'm really just kind of now there's an echo. Okay, man, we're really sorry about this situation here.
I only heard the echo. I hear the echo when I'm talking. I don't hear the echo when you're talking.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. We're sorry, y'all. We're trying to see if we can do something about switching this around here. Okay. Yeah, let us know if you're still hearing it. Thanks for the feedback on that. Like I said, we feel like we're good on this end. He said, now reverb like when I'm singing. Man.
Yeah, try to figure it out. I don't hear the echo anymore though. So, y'all let us know what it's sounding like on your end. And yeah, we'll try to mosey on through this thing.
Yeah.
To answer your question though, as far as what the purpose of the commission is per this article, it says that again, the general statement is the goal is to quote unquote promote state and federal legislation to benefit African Americans in Nebraska. Exactly what that means or looks like, according to this article, that includes working with other commissions to coordinate programs like welfare, education, housing, and employment. The chair, who is now Tim Clark, says the organization is still navigating the challenges of consistency within the commission. He did tell Channel 3 they do plan on doing more work with African American communities around Nebraska, not just in Omaha. He went on to say, you will see the commissioners at some of these hearings in terms of the bill that we are prioritizing. That's important to us. You will see us engaging in the community in terms of upcoming events. You will see a focus on not only a strategic plan, but a strategic plan is necessary. So, again, that's according to Tim Clark, the chair of the Nebraska Commission on African American Affairs. And I think it's important. I think this conversation is important. I think people's outrage towards it is reasonable and warranted because, and this is kind of going along with Brother Anthony Rogers Wright is saying in the chat. He says, we also call for more focus on local and county affairs from the NCAA. And personally, I think they should consider changing their name to reflect African people who are not Americans. And I got some pushback towards that because as African Americans we are our own people. We are a unique group that is separate from any other group on the face of the earth. The reality of slavery, what we have gone through, and the predicament we find ourselves as, I don't want to necessarily call it stateless, but who else has no nationality? There's certain things that we just need, and it's very interesting that when we try to do things for ourselves, that in the zeitgeist is kind of viewed as reverse racism and discrimination against other people and things like that. But the fact of the matter is, even separate from Africans, because our African brothers and sisters have a connection to a land, they have a connection to a historical continuity that surpasses slavery. We don't. And quite honestly, they might not tell you, but a lot of African immigrants come over, they're white. On their license, it says they are white. Yeah. They won't tell you that. But yes.
So you got some pushback there, understandable. Again, I think that when we're talking about in this particular subject of the commission, how would that serve black folks in the way that you're describing, this particular part of the diaspora? What would this African American Affairs Commission serve? What would it do for us now? Go ahead.
Give representation beyond just elected officials. And again, we're not asking for anything that other people don't already have. I think that's the thing that's been missed. Like this Commission of African American Affairs, there are other commissions that advocate. I mean, look at I believe LULAC, which again advocates for the affairs of Latinos. I mean, Asians, they have commissions and groups that advocate. That's how America is set up. That's how the melting pot works. You have the Sons of Italy. You have all of these organizations that represent nations of people. We don't have a nationality. And that is the elephant in the room in American culture that is not being addressed. Until that point is addressed, then we're going to keep running into these problems. And the why I say the outrage that people are having towards it is warranted because, again, per our conversation with Brother Preston Love Jr., it's kind of looking like we have a shell, like everything that's supposed to be representing us and supposed to give us teeth and supposed to give us some kind of standing in this nation is played with, either by us or by the entities that's supposed to make sure that it's, doing what it's supposed to do.
Okay. That makes sense. I appreciate you. Cheryl Weston said, buddy, hitting it right on point. I get you. I totally understand that representation. We playing the game. I guess me personally, I'm starting to lean a lot more into this idea that there's a couple different fights going on. One of the fights for me is to be self-sufficient. One of the fights for me is along the lines of the Black Agenda Alliance belief that we should be putting more energy into taking care, into building what we need to build for ourselves. I have not left the thought, though, that we still have to have things in place in this system and in this game to also fight, such as, the legislation. We should have representation there. Shout out to Senator Terrell McKinney, Senator Ashley Spivey, and having representation, working within the system, playing the game there as well. And I can see why an African American Affairs Commission is also in that realm as well. I see that in that realm. If we're going to be representing, if we needed some representation in that game, in this country, in the areas that need to be collaborating with other commissions and be represented that way, I can see it. So yes, I understand where it's coming from, and I understand what it's supposed to do. I see us out here fighting and really trying to hold this particular commission accountable, and that makes sense. I think a lot of people are feeling a little bit like there may be some people that get appointed that are spokespersons for the governor, even because it's a governor appointed commissioner. How do they get in the governor's good graces to be appointed in the first place? But then we got people like Gwen Easter, that's a Chad Chimer that we know is not in there on some the governor is making me her puppet type of person. So so what do we have here, and what can we do with it? And I'm sure this is a conversation that'll continue because I saw a lot of people chime up about this, and this has been an ongoing thing on our show. It's really interesting that even when Brother Preston Love came on, he had other announcements, and Preston Love Jr. came on and talked a little bit about what was going on at the time here. So obviously it's something that we got to keep up with, and I want to learn more as we go on what the commission is supposed to be doing, could be doing for us, and so on and so forth. Marianne Williams in the chat says, I don't believe any of the commissions are addressing problems as they should, though I feel that I should have been more vocal in my commission. Okay. Good input there. Appreciate that. Also, go ahead.
I'm sorry, just out of curiosity, what commission are you referring to, Sister Marianne Williams? What commission represents you? What is it, nationality based, or what is that?
Good question. Mama God says that we have to work towards self-sufficiency. Inclusion was our worst delusion, but of course, two things can be true at the same time. Thank you. You're saying exactly what I'm feeling like on that.
Yeah. Great way to put it. I have to agree with that. I definitely think inclusion is one of our worst delusions. But to her point, at the same time, we definitely need representation on that level, and really, I would say even beyond the senators.
Oh, absolutely.
Because because
go ahead.
You just never know. We might have some elected officials who might not have as far as our community, the African American community, quote unquote, so called best interests at mind. And in that case, we still need some body to advocate for us and support bills.
7:34 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we're gonna take a quick break. We got all kinds of technical stuff going on here. Sorry about that. We'll shout out. We got our guest waiting in the wings. We'll bring him in as soon as we come back. Stay tuned. You're listening to First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Yes, sir. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Apologize again for the technical difficulties. Thanks for the feedback, letting us know about the sound. I hope that it does not mess up right now while we have our very special guest coming on in, ladies and gentlemen. From Untamed, Brother Sherman L. Wells in the house.
Yo, how y'all doing today?
Hey.
I'm good, brother. Always a good time to see you, man. I appreciate you coming through.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all for having me this morning.
Man, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to be able to speak to the brother, man. For those who don't know what's wrong with you, you're online with Brother Sherman Wells, as I like to call him, Big Sherm fool. Big Sherm.
Big Sherm fool.
Hey,
Yeah, man. Yeah.
From the hood, that from the hood hoodie on, man. I'm loving that one.
Oh
right
man, this is that February 1st edition. We'll be having these for sale. This the first actually at Essential Gathering Place. She having her vendor event, and we'll be there. And these, I have a bunch of them now because the first time I got them, they went the first day. So I said I gotta kind of stock up on them. Everybody likes the red, black, and green. So
Yes, sir.
the logo, and then I got another one. I think it's on this arm right here. Yeah. And there's one on the back too. So the good quality stuff. So I'm ready for y'all.
I'm gonna need
there you
that
go,
one.
quality.
I still want that black jacket, but I'm gonna need that one. Red, black, and green hoodie right there. That's for sure.
Yes, sir. How y'all brothers doing, man?
We're doing
Man,
good,
can't
man.
complain.
I'm gonna put a shout out real quick and make sure that everybody can hear you and hear everybody right. We having some audio technical difficulties this morning.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, so pull the mic up a little closer to you and let's make sure everybody can hear you and all that.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Check, mic check.
Got that? You got that rapper voice going on, man. I've been bumping your tracks, man. Back in the studio.
Oh man, I actually got a new one coming through, and it'll be. I think I'll record it Sunday, and it's basically about discovering yourself. So
nice.
Discover me,
Man,
I made sure I left all the cuss words out just for y'all to make sure nothing. Nothing got to be edited. Yeah.
Man, in between running a family, being pounding the pavement, boots to the roots, you still finding time. I don't even know how. I don't be able to cook beats as much as I nearly want to, but the fact that you finding time to still record and create is a beautiful thing, man. So
Actually, I was up until like 4:00 this morning still writing because sometimes you get that. So I write not even just raps, but just stuff that comes to my head. And so with my son now being the producer, he send me stuff from time to time, and it's just more sentimental. It makes it easier for me because he's just another version of me,
Mm-hmm.
So when he make a beat and send it like, Pops, I think this is you, he be right on point, So I'm just working on the album slowly, but this first single, I'm gonna knock it out and drop it just for the people, And between him and my son-in-law, I'll be dropping another beat. Son-in-law, meaning my daughter finally got her boyfriend. Finally, after 24 years, she finally decided to pick somebody, and I'm happy for her. I'm glad she did what she did, the way she waited. So it's a beautiful thing.
That's what's up, bro. Okay. Glad you approve, because I feel for the brother who comes after the dog.
Man. That approval was a mug, but I got him. It's good. His mom is good. His family good. He's a good brother. So.
There you go. Doing it right, man. As you tend to do. So yeah, man, we appreciate you in the community. All the things that you're doing, and definitely, in the sake of time, wanted to jump into the activities like the City View, the barbecue. Looks like that went off in a real way. Big shout out to everybody that came out, supported. You had food, you had clothes being given away. Just kind of reflecting on that. How's you feel how that whole thing went, and where's the City View situation as you understand it right now?
Actually, I feel really good about it. Shout out to my latest partner in crime, Sister Clarice. Mm-hmm. Man, that girl's something else, I'm gonna tell you. And so that came about just because I went there with her to drop off some food to somebody whose stove wasn't working and they wouldn't let us in after the walkthrough situation. And they wouldn't let us in. And as soon as we turned around, God put it on my heart. He said, you know what? They won't let you feed this one person. So you just feed the whole tower. Of course, I ain't got the money to do it, and I couldn't do it by myself. So once I got the idea, I just put it out there, and everything else was the people. Man, Man, God sends you your people when it's time, and them people showed up with toys, hats, the food, resources. It was beautiful, man. Man, I give all that to God because I could come. I might have thought about it, but man, yeah, look, my Camaro Club people showed up. Yeah, it was just a mixture of people. It was just so beautiful, man. People I have talked to on the internet, like Sister Sarah Phelps. I've been talking to her for so long, and then I finally got to meet her. A couple of the candidates for District 4 was there, District 2 was there. Man, yeah, I can't complain, man. It was so beautiful to see that there's still kindness for humans. We in North Omaha, but we went over there and showed up for South Omaha. So
no, yeah. you doing it right, man. Like you're showing that you're not just like you are for black people. Like you don't get that twisted. But that extends to all humans. Like you're showing true love and compassion. It's not just radical white devil. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody needs love. Everybody needs this energy, man. And you just, man, I can't give it up as much. Even more, like enough, really. How the example that you're setting, man. And not just you, but the community. Everybody coming together just warms the heart to see that happen.
Yeah, I think the best part about it was the child who came home from school and they pulled me to the side and was like, normally I walk in and put my head down because people's out here yelling and arguing, fighting. She said, but today I got all these toys, I got new hats and gloves, and everybody's smiling. That was it. That did the whole that made the whole thing worth it, hearing that one baby say that. So yeah.
Man, the love. The love.
Testimony there. One thing I wanted to jump into real quick too, because a lot of people saw that. A lot of people, especially in our chat, the chat chimers and ghost listeners showed up. A lot of people came through on that. But you had another story that you talked about the other day on your page that I don't know if a whole lot of people got to hear, and that's that story of how you had to go down to the school to get that young man a jacket. Yeah. Tell us about it. It sounds like you got a little bit of some real blatant mean spiritedness happening at the school that way, and you were pretty upset about it, and I appreciate how you handled that. I was actually really amazed on how you went back and called the company. Tell them a little bit about this story, if you would.
Yeah, it was one of the young boys from the Bryan Center that used to come in 21 and 22. So I still keep track of all them kids, and so when he messaged me asking for the hoodie, I told him, yeah, I'll get it. It was the week before Martin Luther King, and so I was trying to get it done before they had like a deadline of Monday or something, but it was MLK Day, so I did try to do it Friday over the phone. They didn't return my call, so then I went. I was gonna go Tuesday, but it was a storm day, so Wednesday, I went there and she just wouldn't take my payment, telling me I was a day late. And that I couldn't place the order because the company wouldn't let her adjust the order. And so
just to clarify, this was for a hoodie for a young brother that wanted to join the wrestling team.
Yeah,
he needed a hoodie like everybody else got their hoodies or had their hoodies ordered, and he reached out to you to help him get his hoodie. And so you went down there to try to help him do that. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I just wanted to make sure he had a wrestling hoodie. I mean, I didn't know if everybody on the team had it or not, but if he asked me, then he wanted it. It was only like $20, no big deal. And so when I got there, she just wouldn't let me add his wrestling hoodie on. I did ask to speak to the principal. I think that's kind of where things got, because I wouldn't accept her no. And so let me talk to the principal. She's busy in the meeting. I said, well, is there anybody else other than you that I can talk to? And so she went and got a card for the assistant principal, who is also the athletic director. And she said, here, you can leave a message. I said, I'm not leaving nothing. I'll be back, but she just turned around and walked away. Long story short, he had sent me a picture of the form to order it. And I just, zoomed in, seen the name of the company, called him, and I spoke to a man named Blake. And he told me, yeah, it's not a big deal. He'll go ahead and place the order, and then told me that the school had already added orders that next day anyway. So he was like, well, what I'll do is just place your order, make it like everybody else's, and then you can just come pick it up. And so that's what I did. And so instead of going back and dealing with her, I just went through to the company, and I just wanted people to know that you don't have to always take no, and I didn't have to get confrontational with her. But she kind of was taking me as confrontational. I don't know what it was, but I think the moment I said, let me talk to the principal and wouldn't accept her no answer, that's when it kind of got.
That's people perceive that as confrontation when you don't accept no. I mean,
yeah. And there was another parent there. So after I got done talking to the lady, and she like, good for you for not taking no, and then at that time I was actually talking to her son because he was having complications that day of being in school because he got his hair done and people was making fun of him, said he looked like Travis Scott. And so he was not wanting to go on about his day. And he was out there with his mom kind of tearing up a little bit and talking to her. And I just gave him some words of advice. We talked for a little bit and I hugged on that boy too, because most of the time children just need a little bit of support to get through. And the way the world got it set up is if you don't fit in with what everybody else is doing, because now it's social media. Before we had our own creativity, we didn't care because we didn't know what the next person was wearing or doing. We just came in our own swag and our own style. So, now if you don't fit to the comparison, these children, man, they think something's wrong with them or somebody really don't be. So.
He getting made fun of because he looked like a multi-million-dollar rap star.
One of the biggest artists in the world.
But it just goes to show you, people, how kids can get sometime with that vitriol. The reason why I wanted you to tell that story too was because there's a couple points on that. First of all, the community is starting to really know they can call you and reach out to you for stuff and you respond. Secondly, while you guys had the picnic going on, I wasn't there because I was at MCC and I was teaching a citizen journalism workshop with some formerly incarcerated brothers, some brothers that were currently incarcerated.
Beautiful.
In the reentry program, and we ended up talking all that day about access, about the ability to walk in somewhere and assert your dominance and say, this is what I need and I want. Somebody says no, and you come back and say, where's your boss? And you get done what needs to get done. So I kept using your name that day as an example of somebody who is entrenched in the community, but also know you can go stand in the mayor's office and say something if you got to, because we belong in these rooms. So I just wanted to bring that out and give you some props for that on the show and let everybody know and understand what's going on with that part of it, because it's such an important part. If I'm going to help build some people that are trying to be journalists here, they gotta feel like they can walk in and ask the questions they need to ask. So so I say that to say, when we do our content creator camp, I might have to hit you up to come and just teach a little class on walking in rooms.
Yes, sir. I got you. I got you for sure.
Man. And I'm actually glad you brought that up, Paul, because that's, kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier as far as the Commission of African American Affairs. I want to get your take on that. It's a great, I mean, hey, let's do it.
Family show.
Man, right. But if we can't have real conversations, then what we doing? And you're kind of in an interesting point because, Brother Kasim, although we've seen over the years, he has, kind of opened up to the idea of being more civically engaged and understanding the role that politics plays. He still tries to, kind of play his role as far as staying, out of that. But you'll go into the mayor's office, you'll hold these people accountable. And just kind of wanted to get your take on the dynamic and the balance between, holding elected officials and government entities and those things accountable, but also doing for ourselves and understanding that first. So I don't know if that question makes sense, but definitely would love to hear your take. Okay.
It do. And first of all, I like to say that when I go look in my closet is costumes. So I'll go in there and I might have a hoodie for something, then I have some, a tie and or a turtleneck or something for something else. So whatever the role is, I have to dress for that role to be for the minds of them to accept that I'm coming the way I'm coming. So if I'm going into like the mayor's office or something, I might put on a shirt and tie, but I'm still the same me. But even if sometimes I might just show up in a hoodie because at this time, I'm not caring about what you think or something. But yeah, man. So I think that African American Affair Commission, whatever it is, that day, of course, Miss Weston, that's my girl, man. I love that lady.
Shout out in the chat.
Shout out.
She messaged me and just told me, asked me, was I coming or could I be there? And so, yeah, I'm like, yeah, of course. And when you look at me, you think, oh, Sherman doing not. No, it's the people around me that provide me the information so I know how to move. And a lot of them, I have to say, is women, And so Miss Weston called me and told me about it. And when I got there, I had already heard about it kind of, but didn't know too much about it. And really, so they didn't show everything I said, but what I told them is this is your notice. We're putting you on notice that if you're collecting money on behalf of Black people and using our poverty and our data as a coupon, then we will no longer take you not doing nothing or being involved in a community when you're drawing money off of us, but you're not using it on us. So what do you do exactly? We need to know, because we got people in the trenches, people like me, people like them, that your websites say one thing, but you're just not doing what you say. And so, yeah, man, and just reminded them that we are connected to the largest family in town, with the dozens of cousins and the McGee's and Morgans and the Strongs. And, man, we here. We want to know what you're doing. And you got $1.2 million that was supposed to go towards whatever projects and stuff you're supposed to do. So, yeah, I think that engaging politically, that's why currently I'm not thinking about no political position, but I will in the future. I think once I hit my 50 mark, I might start doing some political seats, but I don't want to be sat down in one seat where I have to be focused on one thing, because I feel more influential outside of the seat where I can still talk to the person. And so, yeah, I talk to all of those politicians. They know when I'm coming, like the whole City View thing. When I went downtown, they knew I was coming. Right after I took off that hoodie, I got on some dress clothes and went straight downtown after the shower and everything. So, yeah, man.
Putting in the work. Okay.
The same day. I didn't even give it a day. Like, as soon as I got home, I changed and showered and changed and met Tamika downtown, a whole nother person. After the walk through with Clarice and Mike Lee and them, I met Tamika downtown and we jumped on it. So,
okay, Sister Tamika Mees.
Yeah, man. There's so many characters in this book, man. And I don't have no issue with nobody, so I can utilize everything in my. That's how God kind of make it to where you can just pick and choose the people that you need in the situation, and then you change characters, and just go in there, So yeah.
Man.
Well, I appreciate you, man. I love the fact that that's your whole day. Your whole day is just civic duty and being available and from the street, to all the way up to the courtroom and everywhere else that you show up and give people some back and some help. And I appreciate you giving shout out to everybody else around you that's doing the work as well. We love to be a part of trying to really kind of and make people know who these people are as well. So shout out to everybody that showed up, that shows up to the places when you call. Shout out to Clarice, who's stepping up in a big way too. Shout out to Brieful. I heard Brieful. I see Marlon Harrison said shout out to Brieful for reaching out to Sherman.
Yeah, I called her that same day that Lewis and Clark thing happened. I called Brieful. So
I'm glad to hear y'all in conversation. That's what's happening.
Teamwork, making the dream work, man.
All the people, man. Yes, sir.
So before we get out of here, man, any words, anything for us to keep our eye on? Anything coming up that you think we need to be really kind of posting and pushing?
Yeah. What's the next sermon with Sherman?
We are not through with City View. Just know that. Okay. And tomorrow, actually, make sure y'all come to Essential Gathering Place so y'all can get one of these RBG hoodies. And just keep your eye out. Black Agenda Alliance, we still got a lot of stuff going on. And I'll be working with everybody to make sure we keep the community engaged. And I'm still gonna stay open for people to contact me. And man, just gotta keep on pushing and doing all praises to God, Allah, whatever you want to call it, because I just turned my body over to the entity. So that way, anything that is called on me to do, I'm gonna do it. And you might say it's Sherman, but it ain't me. I'm just doing what I'm told, man.
Allahu Akbar. Man, praise be. Praise be to the Most High.
Appreciate you, brother. Always a pleasure to hear from you when you're coming through.
Yes, sir. It's all love. I love y'all. Love the chats, man. Y'all keep doing y'all thing, and let's just keep building. 2025, the real is alive. Yes, sir.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, I like that. Peace and love, brother.
What he doing? That's what he doing. He pumping that album. That's what he doing.
Yeah.
All good, bro. We'll talk to you soon, man.
All right, y'all. Peace.
All right, peace. All right, man. Always a pleasure talking to that brother. Appreciate everybody who's shouting out in the chat for him. You're amazing, Sherman. Michelle Moreno says you're right. I see Miss Wells in the chat as well. Appreciate you, Mrs. Wells. Yeah, thank you so much. Marlon Harrison says shout out to Brieful. That's what's going on. Love her. Love the energy. Stacey Jeans. Man, everybody co-signing because that brother's the truth. So really appreciate him coming through, and I'm glad you guys gave us some time. Thanks for the comments and the love.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. Mama God asked him about the hoodie. He said the hoodie drops tomorrow, I guess. I don't. You can check out Untamed. I don't know if he has a website for Untamed, but you can check him out on Facebook, and Instagram. But also you can go in person tomorrow at the Central Gathering Place. That's 42nd and Saratoga, I want to say, right across the street from Central Park. You know, the white church looking building right across the street from Central Park Elementary. Check them out. Go support. You ain't too far, moms. Check them out.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's I definitely will say I should have been pushing that in the community news because the Central Gathering Place is having a situation over there, so we'll definitely be we'll put that in Friends of First Sky Omaha again, kind of repost that and
in light of Target.
Mm-hmm. Right on, man. 7:56 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we're getting ready to get out of here. We're about to wrap the show. We appreciate everybody that joined us today, and just wanted to give a shout out to all the chat chimers. Do us a favor, share the show. If you're out here on YouTube, especially, do us a favor, share the show. If you're on Facebook, you can also share the show. Pretty easy on your page, just to get as many people talking as possible and continue the conversation as we go. The conversation also continues on Friends of First Sky Omaha, the group page. So you definitely want to check out what's going on there. And yeah, there's a lot of conversation that's happening on the group page. As a matter of fact, a lot of the stories that we're getting from there. So shout out to everybody who's been putting stories there. Also want to give a shout out to all the recurring members of the channel as well. All the $10 people, $25 people, $50 people. Really appreciate everybody that supports us and that is continuing to support what it is that we're doing. Remember, we're out here with some stuff as well, trying to support some other folks. The Underwood Tennis Group, we're trying to raise a few bucks for. So part of the proceeds of our Fight the Towers t-shirt goes there. So if you would want to hit the QR code and check that out and grab you a shirt, we really appreciate it. Like I said, part of the proceeds go to the Underwood Tennis Group, and we will continue to try to support them as much as we can. We're looking to try to get Hassani Lee on to give us an update, because I know that he has some court dates and some things like that coming up as well. So shout out to everybody who has been doing that so far, and we really appreciate everybody who's joined us and always comes in and supports on all kinds of different levels. Really appreciate it, buddy. Got it. Okay, cool. We were going to send you out with a couple tracks, but instead, I just want to jump back into the chat real quick. First, Pop says, I love the entire First Sky fam. Awesome show. Have a great weekend. Appreciate you. Mama Guy says, I know where it is. You know where the Essential Gathering Place is.
Check it out. Yeah. Also, speaking of check it out, also it is Friday, so look out for the newsletter. We're still coming out with that. So yep, updating that and more conversations to be had around that. Fighting the algorithm, not just fighting the towers, but yeah, fighting the algorithm, man. Trying to have our voices heard and reach you, the people, directly. If you haven't already signed up for it, definitely sign up for the weekly rap newsletter. Again, coming out every Friday around 4. Kind of, look out for that as you end your work day and really wrap up the week. There'll be some things, some haps to look out for, and some news stories to recap over the week as well. So big shout out to everybody who's already a part of that. The list has been growing, man. So if you haven't already, make sure you tell a friend to tap in. Check us out. Again, weekly rap newsletter. And your email coming to you directly, man. So big shout out to everybody who's already supporting that. We appreciate you. We love you. We thank you.
Yeah, and we really appreciate you guys bearing with us through the technical difficulties as well. Thanks for letting us know about the sound. We'll look into it and see about it. Join us Monday. It will be time for the senators to come through, man. We got Senator Cypher coming up. So I spoke to Ms. Ashley Spivey. She's feeling better. Senator Ashley Spivey.
Nice. There you go.
Senator Terrell McKinney will join us as well. Senator Cypher is happening on Monday, so please let us tell a friend and get your questions ready as well. Session is in session right now, man. We're looking at bills this whole season. Ballot of the Bullets going down. So shout out to everybody. Real quick, just want to get little man. Come over here for a second. Say hi to the people.
The dude.
Hello.
You got to talk in the microphone.
Hello.
Hello. Getting big.
Yeah.
Say First Sky Omaha, baby.
First Sky Omaha.
That's what's up.
There you go.
Cool, man. Appreciate
doing it for the next generation. That's what it's about. Got to
get him acclimated to the mic. That's what's happening.
You go.
I want to give thanks to the Umaha tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Thanks to our elders for allowing us to speak before you. And thanks to you, the chat chimers, allowing us to speak with you. It's always a great thing. We really appreciate everybody who participates in this particular chat.
Thank you.
Helps try, really follows the rules on the chat. Really appreciate everybody. We can have some dissenting opinions and go back and forth all we want to, but we want to kind of keep the personal attacks and stuff to a minimum so we can keep on having people come back and continue to speak and talk. And that goes for Friends of First Sky Omaha as well. So anybody listening that's on Friends of First Sky Omaha, we want to keep a lot of the complaining down, a lot of the name calling down, and treat it as if we're speaking to people face to face, because people are coming in and checking it out. And we want to have more face to face conversations anyway. This is just a tool for us to try to get together and set some ideas out that we can continue to talk about later on. Pop says Grandpa loves you. He says love you too, Grandpa sings. So just want to thank it's all love supreme around here. This is the reason why we do it, and we just really appreciate everybody who follows our lead on that one. Thank you, thank you. Yep. Any last words for the people, buddy?
Nah, we're a little past time, so catch the same time, same place, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right here on First Sky Omaha in the morning. In the meantime, between time, you can always continue the conversation on Friends of First Sky on Facebook. Also follow us on social media. We're on Instagram. Even check us out on Fanbase if you haven't already. So yeah, in the meantime, between time, we'll be there. Yeah. Beat us there. Don't meet us there.
Right.
Peace.
By the way, Van Glorious, this is protected by the red, the black, and the green. At the crossroad, with the key.
By any means